With all the stories of police brutality dominating the headlines, the Justice Department has decided to dedicate $20 million to a pilot program that would offer body cameras for police officers. According to BuzzFeed, $20 million of funding has been promised to support a program to increase the use of body-worn cameras in law enforcement. The department said the program is aimed at helping to support police in implementing, developing, and evaluating the cameras across the country. Now, the way that they break it down makes sense, although I question whether or not $20 million is really enough for this. So they would spend $17 million worth of grants for the purchase of body cameras, or BWCs, $2 million for the training and technical assistance, and $1 million to allow for the development of evaluation and best practice processes. Now, whether or not that's enough money is one issue. Another issue I have with this is whether or not it's really going to make a difference, because we already have cases like the case involving Eric Garner, where we have footage, you see the police brutality, and it usually ends up with injustice. So is this going to make a huge difference?
Yeah, I think it's a great start. Look, it doesn't guarantee results. As you point out, the Eric Garner case couldn't be clearer. We didn't get through justice anyway. But I'd much rather have the footage than not, and I'd much rather have the cops think in the back of their minds, I'm being taped, than not think that. We've had a lot of experience with them not being taped. It hasn't ended well. So now, of course, we know what happens. Usually when they get taped, they go after the people who are taping them. That happened in the Eric Garner case. That happened in the Freddie Gray case. They went and arrested the guys who did the taping. Now they'd have to arrest themselves because they're the ones wearing the cameras. Yeah, so there's a lot of upsides here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the anecdotal evidence of it not working out is far surpassed by what it's likely to do. And bear in mind that while it is no sense of justice for Eric Garner or Eric Garner's family that there was no arrest made in that case, the cops involved in that were put through hell. I mean, I'm glad they were, and I wish it had ended in an indictment, but I think that they would prefer there had not been video of that. Even at its bare minimum, it makes things difficult. And who knows if there had been no video of Walter Scott? He was a suspect who fled the police and went for a cop's taser. So there is evidence, of course, that it does work. And who knows what would happen if there had been a Darren Wilson video.
So that's a good point. And now police departments throughout the country realize that they're probably going to have to deal with body cameras. So as a result, they are taking preemptive actions to mitigate some of the consequences of that, and I find it really interesting. Los Angeles has one of the biggest police departments in the country, and they've already proposed body cameras. However, it comes with a lot of restrictions. So let me tell you exactly how it works. The LAPD Foundation agreed to pay for the department to deploy 800 body cameras, and the city's proposed budget for the 2015-2016 includes funding for about 4,500 cameras on the street. So all of that sounds really good. But here's the caveat. They want to ensure that it doesn't get leaked to the public, so the public doesn't get to see those videos. And on top of it, the police officers get to view what's captured on the footage before they file a police report, kind of allowing them to craft the story in a way that doesn't make them look bad. There are no inconsistencies.
Yeah, but if the video still gets seen, it's still a big deal. I mean, yes, okay, they can, they're supposed to lead to justice and be a safeguard against the police. They're not there for a gotcha moment. I don't mind the police being able to see it necessarily. It's not ideal, but bear in mind, at least in Los Angeles, that there has been, and I'm sure people will correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a pretty powerful citizen oversight board. So that might not be the public, but it's at least people will get, presumably, if the citizen oversight board doesn't get to see it, then it's a outrage. But
that's a good point. The thing that I'm more concerned about is the whole purpose of the body cameras is to ensure that there aren't inconsistencies. And I'm just worried that if it's just the police department that gets to review them, look, the police department has people that look out for one another.
I think we're on the right road. It's not enough. I mean, I hate that the cops get to look at it and then craft their defense accordingly. I mean, we never give that to any other defendant. Could you imagine before the cops go to question a defendant, like let's say he shot somebody or he shot a cop, they're like, no, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's give you all the evidence first, including the video of what you did, and then you tell us what your defense is. Like, it's inconceivable in any other context. But at least we're on the road, right? And we should fix that and then go further. And the other thing that I like is that I like the Justice Department being more active with local law enforcement, because when local law enforcement, whether it's a prosecutor that always works with the cops, by definition they have to work with cops and get evidence from them all the time, or it's the police investigating themselves, well, they're going to be biased. Of course they are. They're going to be biased in favor of the cops. That's how it works. So I like when the Justice Department comes in any role and says, hey, let's just do a check on that. I mean, this is the beginning of that check where at least, hey, you know what? Let's help you buy cameras to put on the cops. And then that'll get us on the right road. I wish they would do more, but I'm glad they're taking this step.